O- Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm back. So, welcome to Real Talk with Cammie Grayson and friends. Again, I'm Cammie Grayson, and I am trying to figure out. This is our first Facebook broadcast, so I'm just trying to figure out how we can get all the other people on board from the radio show. So, bear with us. Bear with us. I'm waiting for Miss Ayesha. Again, the topic today is the disaster that's taking place in Dallas, Texas. I have family and friends there, and they are they're really going through a lot right now. And so I was just wanting everyone to know the magnitude and how this is really affecting the people there in Dallas, Texas. So I'm trying to let me see if I can figure out how to tag a few of my friends here so they can tune in, and I do want to hear your opinion. So you can also ask to join if you want to join. Feel free to join. That's what Real Talk is all about. All of us getting together, sharing our views and our point on the topics, the current topics. So as I was saying earlier, we got people without power, and it's real. We have people without food, and that's the biggest thing. It's bad enough that people are actually sleeping in their cars to stay warm. What can we do? What can we do to help? From way here. I know that we can probably send a little money, but really, how good is money if there's no food in the stores? There's no rooms in the hotels for people to stay warm. So it's a national disaster, and they're not really getting the help that they need. And so, what can we do on our end? There's Ayesha. Hey, Miss Ayesha in Dallas, Texas.
Hey,
Look, where are you in
hey,
the car?
I am in my car, y'all. Today is just gonna be real. It's raw, and this is just what's going on.
Wow.
We have to do it. Um, I don't know. I just joined in, so I didn't hear what you were saying before, but uh, it's real out here.
Yeah, it is. It,
It's real out here.
it really is.
Um,
So what I was really just wanting people to understand the magnitude of what you guys are actually going through, and with no help. That's the biggest thing. What can we do to help on our end when I can't mail you any food, give you some money, there's no
right.
food at the grocery store. What can we do to help since you guys are not receiving help?
I really feel right now, the best thing that you can do is send prayers. Send prayers, send positive thoughts. I see a lot of negativity on Facebook because people don't really understand the nature and the magnitude of everything that's taken place. Now, most people have not had power since about 3 a.m. Monday morning,
Wow.
and they may have just gotten power as of yesterday or the day before yesterday, but there are still people without water, without food. There's a shortage of food in the restaurants. There's a shortage of food in the grocery store. You go to the grocery stores and they're empty. There's nothing on the shelves. There's little scavenger food here and there. So, and people got to understand, and people be so quick. Well, why didn't you prepare? Well, listen, if we're already going through a COVID pandemic where people have depleted all of their supplies from COVID, they haven't worked. They're already going through their own crisis with loved ones dying, having to do burial costs and costs for insurance, costs for so many other things. People's resources are already depleted.
Right.
And then you go into this, now coupled on top of that, we weren't prepared for that. Dallas is not normally a place where we have record temperatures 12 degrees and below, to where our buildings aren't even structured for that. So it's caused pipes to burst, and that's why a lot of people are still without water, including myself. I just happen to be, have grace and have a friend that's nearby that does have electricity and water. Otherwise, me and my girls would be out there too. So I think the the most helpful thing right now is for people to send positivity and not be negative. If you can't do anything else, if you can't send money, be positive.
Right.
Just keep a positive thought, send a prayer, give people encouragement, because a lot of people are losing it right now because this is not something that they're used to dealing with. And it's really hard, you know imagine. And if you can't do nothing more, imagine yourself, if you had a 90-year-old grandmother that you couldn't get to, and you don't know if she has food for 3-4 days, if she's cold. Think about the people that's out there that don't even have that. In my house, the temperature was 45 degrees. The refrigerator's 45 degrees. Okay, so you imagine sitting and sleeping in that at night.
Yeah.
So you can develop a level of empathy, and not sympathy, don't feel sorry, but so you can understand, just have an understanding of what's going on, out here. Um, what I would suggest to anybody is, if you are aware of any resources, post it on Facebook and share it. Facebook, Instagram, same way you would share all your pictures and stuff like that. Make sure if you come across any resources to just share that with people, because we're limited right now. We are considered in a disaster, but I went on the FEMA website yesterday. There are no funding there. So I don't know, people were sending around a FEMA number and stuff like that. I'm not aware of any funding. I don't see that the government has stepped in and really helped Texas, as far as I'm concerned. So, we kind of got to fend for ourselves right now. And I'm just hoping, I'm praying that these stores get their shipments in. I just got my delivery for my mail, so I'm hoping, all the shipments that were probably delayed because of the storms and stuff will start coming in, because these shelves are empty.
Wow.
you know
Wow. Tell them about the
so
Burger King. You guys tried to go get some food, and
oh yeah. I We went and tried to get some food last night, and Burger King didn't have any. There were no lettuce, not a tomato, not a nothing. I was trying to get an Impossible Whopper, because I'm vegetarian now, so they didn't even have the Impossible Whopper. I couldn't even eat that. So I tried to get a shake. The man said, "Okay, well, yeah, we got some shakes." I'm like, "Okay, great." Get the shake, and the shake tastes like uh the shake tastes like plastic or something. I don't know. Probably because it was sitting there. So that's another thing too. I don't know. I'm not trying to rag on anybody, or say anything against any restaurants and stuff like that. But one would have to wonder about the integrity of the food too, because if we were sitting and we didn't have access to lights, what restaurants didn't either. So yeah, pray over your food. I don't know. I don't know at this point. But yeah, there's a shortage of food. As soon as everything kind of as soon as the snow melted a little bit, in this area in Texas now, and that's the thing. People need to understand. Houston is still getting it.
right,
They still got
right,
snow
right.
down there, so they're not out of the woods. They're a lot worse off than we are here in northern Texas. So keep that in mind too. But as everything started to melt down, people are coming out and going to these restaurants, and they're lined up, and the line is out of the parking lot and down the street on service
Yeah,
roads. That's how many people were trying to get to food.
yeah.
You know.
HEB, I believe that was in Houston, where, oh
hmm
my gosh, the line not only around the building, but down the street, around the corner.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People are lined up. Including me. I had to go get me some chicken, and I'm vegetarian. I ate the red beans and rice, but that chicken sure was smelling good because I'm so hungry.
So I think
you
our,
know.
our biggest thing right now is to make people aware of what
hmm
our family is going through in Dallas, Texas, and it's like it's really one of those things where you're not expecting it. I spoke with my uncle, who's in his, I think, 70-ish, and he said that he has never experienced anything like this in Dallas. And he said he was a kid when the worst stuff. So you can imagine, out of all these years
you know, like you said before earlier, Texas, Dallas is just not prepared for it. I Texas, but you know, that's just something that we don't normally have to go through in Dallas.
Absolutely. And so that's really what's throwing everyone off guard, because this is not a state that's normally used to um, uh, record temperatures that's below like 12 degrees. We've never experienced that. And even if we do have snow, looks like I would say every 10 to 15 years, we might have a significant amount of snow. But you combine that with temperatures below 12 degrees, and that's just a recipe for a disaster. Even the buildings here, the pitches of the roof aren't made to handle that amount of snow. So had it snowed a few more days, you would have been dealing with roofs caving in,
Wow.
because their buildings aren't really geared for that. You don't have these type of buildings in Michigan and everywhere else. So it could have been 10 times worse, than what we're seeing here. And quite frankly, some areas of Texas is still dealing with this. So, I can't even say or imagine what they're going through. I got a cousin down in Houston, and they're still going through it. And then the recovery, people have gone days without electricity. I do know, so far there's been a report about 40 people that have been found dead, you know, and that's not to say that they're still not finding people, with everything that's going on. So like I said, just be mindful.
Right.
People are dealing with a lot right now. So whatever resource that you can provide, just check on your loved ones, call them, and make sure that they're okay. Because a lot of people still are prideful, even through all this. They don't want to be a burden, so they don't say anything. So whatever resources that you have, please do share it.
Right.
Yeah, please do share it. But yeah, it's real.
It's,
It's real.
well, I mean, we'll keep everyone posted. We thank you guys who did tune in. We're actually recording this so we can play it back, so people can be mindful and aware of it. And also, because SKST Radio is coming back, more. I've never had to dress before a radio show, but radio is actually we're live now. So we're going to be, our launch date is going to be the 20th of March. But as of right now, we are doing our podcast, and then we're also doing videos. So that way you guys can be aware of what's going on. You'll be able to go to the playback, go to www.skstradio.com. You can find my page. You can find Ayesha's page, and JBZ, Romy. We got Preston Taylor back. So this is a relaunch of SKST Radio, where we are live people, keeping it real, real talk, and letting you know what's really going on in the lives of our community, what's really happening in our community. And you free
Right.
reign to speak, you can actually call into our show and speak your mind, and not pull back, because this is what it's all about. Freedom of speech is what it's all about. Uh, Actually letting people know what's really happening in the communities. That's what SKSG Radio is all about. So we're there for you. If we can do anything, if you know of any resources or any way we can help get resources out to the people in Texas and Dallas, is where I'm from, and that's my big concern, because I do have a son there that I haven't heard from him, other than a text that I'm at 2% power and our power's out. So, what can you do to help? What type of resources? Can I send him money? Will he get it? And once he gets the money, is there going to be somewhere for him to go get food? What can we do as a sister community to help our family and friends, or even people, strangers, if we don't even know them in Dallas, Texas, because people are needing help. And then with the pandemic going on, I mean, it's just a lot on people. It's a big burden, and we want to give back. We want to help. We want to do what we can to help. And even if us letting people know and be aware of what's actually happening, um, like Ayesha here, she has children, and I mean, what did it feel like, Ayesha, when the power went out? I mean, how did your girls handle this whole situation?
Um, they weren't really in a state of panic. They were just kind of confused, not really understanding what was going on. I literally woke up to it. Usually I'm up by 5, so I'm doing my morning meditations or prayers and all of that stuff. But this particular morning when I woke up on Monday, someone called me and it was around 6, and I stayed on the phone probably to about 7, and didn't realize the power was even out. Went and turned on the lights, and my kids immediately was like, what's going on? They were just confused. And I sat here. I got an email saying that there were supposed to be rolling blackouts, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, they said 45 minutes at the least that your power should be off. By 9 o'clock, the power came on for about 2 seconds and it went out, and it had been out ever since.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there kind of like, okay, what do I do now? I need to cook something. We're hungry. There's really not much in here. I'm trying to shift my groceries around to put them in the freezer. I'm trying to figure out, what are we going to eat? So at one point, in the morning, I got up, tried to go to McDonald's. McDonald's is closed. Tried to go to Walmart. Walmart's closed. Not even a gas station was open. Ice and snow on the ground, nothing. Nothing was open.
Wow.
So I could not get a hot meal for my kids. So as a mother, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what my next move
Right.
is. Everything that I have, I've cooked. It's in the refrigerator. We could just heat up with a microwave and go on about our business, or fry some eggs or
Right.
whatever. Can't do that. Gone. I couldn't even light my fireplace. I got wood, but I don't even have like a starter log or something that's going to keep it lit, so we can get heat. And so at this point, the kids are complaining because they're getting cold.
Wow.
And they're hungry. So, at that point, I called a friend because, now I'm seeing the kids are starting to really be affected by it. Even though they're confused and they don't know what's going on, they know it's not the norm.
Right.
So I would say about 4:30, 5 o'clock, after we're eating whatever we could find that's not in the fridge. I called a friend. I'm like, we may have to stay for a few days because I really don't know how long or what's going on. And it's been a blessing, because my friend has a son too. So they've had somebody to play with to kind of take their mind off of what's going on.
Right.
So they've been kind of distracted about it, but they still know it's not the norm. And even now they're like, I want to go home. They want to go sleep in their beds.
Right.
So it's a lot.
Yeah. So,
It's a lot.
so you've been at your friend's home for what, 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I've been here since Monday.
It's Monday. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think,
Yeah.
so now you can go home, your power's on, but what's the...
No water. A pipe broke in my complex, and so there's absolutely no water, no information about when it's going to be fixed. So a lot of people that still don't have water, that are in the same boat as me, where they have a pipe or something's going on with the water situation, they're having to flush their toilets with pool water.
Wow.
They're having to get a bucket and flush their toilets with pool water. But it still doesn't allow them to take a shower every day.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I haven't gone home,
Yeah. 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 Hey, you got girls.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Understandable. Well, I know I asked earlier, but for the people who's just tuning in, I mean, what do you suggest we do to help family and friends there in Dallas or in Texas, period?
Send prayers, send love, send money, because when things do start to get back to normal, they're going to have to replenish the groceries. My food is gone.
Right.
It's gone. It's been sitting, there for hundreds of dollars of food gone.
Right.
Not just regular food, even like your condiments and stuff. You know how expensive all that stuff is to replace?
Right.
It's a lot of money, and it's likely not covered under the insurance. It may be. I would tell people, check your insurance policy. If you have a renter's insurance policy or homeowner, check for, it's called loss of use coverage, to see if they'll reimburse if you had to stay in a hotel. Also check to see about food spoilage, see if that's covered under your insurance for either homeowners or renters. Um, and if there's any damage, water damage or anything like that, that's usually something that is covered in the policy. Um, so check your personal insurance. I don't know, how it is. It's probably different from insurance company to insurance company. So I would start there. I would go to FEMA.gov to check and see if they've posted any resource. I know they declared it a disaster, but I haven't seen anything to indicate that they're providing any resources. I would call Texas 211. That can provide maybe local help. The churches, start there. People donating to the churches. Now it's time to reach back out and see what they can do, to help. I think Friendship West, somebody posted something about Friendship West having resources, providing hot meals and stuff like that. So check with your local churches to see,
That's
how you can get help.
something good. I love that guy. Yeah.
And yeah, oh yeah. And you know, talk to your relatives and people that you know. Don't be afraid to sit here and reach out. Don't be prideful. It's not a time for that. It's really not. Especially if you have kids or whatnot. You know, whatever you need to survive is survival mode. So hey, you do what you have to do. Closed mouth don't get fed. So you get on there and you ask for help
Right, right,
because we need it right now. It's not a handout, it's a hand.
right.
So don't be prideful. Speak up.
Yeah. And I think there's a way you can ask to join the show. So I don't know if you need to press a button or what you need to do. We're happy to hear your comments if you want to join in on the feed. Is it a limit of who can join on the feed?
I'm not sure. JB, tap on your screen and then it should say something about join. Or maybe I have to go off out of here. But I'll go out so we can hear JB, because I'm not sure if we all can be on there at once.
Yeah, I don't see anything popping up. JB, thumbs up if you're trying to log in. He's watching.
He's watching. I see him watching.
Yeah, I don't see. Well, at least he's trying. So yeah,
Yeah.
well, we do know this was not the main source for our feed anyway. We're going to be actually zooming, and we actually have our own radio station network. So we're excited about that pretty
Right.
soon. So the only other thing I can say and add to the whole situation, for those who just joined, we have Ayesha who's from Dallas, Texas, and it's a national disaster there with all the coal and ice and people being without power for several days. So we're just kind of figuring out what we can do, what type of resources and what can we bring to them to help family members and friends there in Dallas. And I know everyone's not affected, like the outskirts, like JP, he's in Garland. He said he's fine. I have uncles that's farther out in DeSoto like area. I know they're fine, but the real mass stuff, Dallas, Texas, they did get it. They got the hit big time. So I don't know. JB's trying to get in, but I don't think he's able to get in. So, but anyway, so we're just trying to figure out what can we do. So since we can't allow you guys to get on this feed, go ahead and just leave your messages, uh, of resources. If you have any ideas for us to share resources, leave it on my Facebook page. You can go to skstradio.com, skstradio.com. We all have pages. Ayesha has a page. Beezy has a page. I have a page. Rome, our sportscaster, Preston Taylor, we're all there. If you have messages and things like that you want to leave for the team, or even just topics. But right now, our biggest topic is trying to help our family and friends in Texas. So, you know, Aisha, you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I do. And I don't know how true it is, but I've been seeing things about the water source too being having parasites. I don't know if that's a rumor. I'm not gonna, say that it is, you know, but I feel like one of the resources that we really need right now is fresh water. I'm not going to take any chances. I drink, bottled water or, water that's filtered anyway. Um, but if if people are still having issues with their water off, that will probably be one of the main things that we need is a water source. So,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, well, okay, so we just learned something. JB, I did see your request. You did do it right that time, but it's only allowing one person at a time. So we're gonna let Ayesha go, and JB, we're gonna bring you on board, uh, and then we'll switch you guys off. How about that?
okay.
So,
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
thank you. Okay, let's see if we can get JB on. There we go. Hey,
Hey, Cammy, how you
good. How
doing?
you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good. So we just was talking about what she's going through and her girls are going through there in Dallas. Uh, just
Right?
trying to see what we can do. What is your take on it?
Who? It's just like she said. Oh, you can't see me. It's just like she said, Cammy. It's hard out here. For everybody that's going through whatever they're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wasn't, affected. Not on my side of town, but on this side of town I'm on right now was kind of bad.
Really? So what are
Huh?
the grocery stores like? Full?
Oh, you know what? I went to Walmart yesterday, and when I tell you the meat is gone, like you see the black lining that's in everything.
Wow.
No water, no no anything you think I tell you like this. Anything that's at Walmart is everything you don't want. How about that?
Wow.
So I mean it's bad. It's really bad. No water. But for the people who listening, Albertsons were like fully stocked.
Okay, Albert.
So yeah, so if you go on this side of town, if you go to Albertsons, they are like fully stocked.
Okay. So for those,
I was
JBZ is in area. So if you can get that way, Albertsons is
yeah, Albertsons is fully stocked. And it really amazed me when I saw that because I went to Walmart yesterday and saw that they had nothing. So I just figured that it was like everybody. So it's everything Ayesha talked about, touched on. It's really what it is.
wow. Yeah, I'm just Miss Bill saying that they brush their teeth with bottled water. So at least y'all had some bottled water. Aisha.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's really crazy out here, man. It's I mean, it's so crazy. Like I haven't even been working. I haven't even been to work in a whole week. That's just how bad it was. It's been so. Luckily on that part, I had vacation time, whatever. So it kind of balanced itself out. But it's been bad. And like she said, if it would have snowed any more than it did, yeah, people would be really like in boats right now,
Right. Right.
and and I mean it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of people houses have been flooded. I've been checking the news, looking at the sites and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's bad. It's really bad, Cammy.
So in your what do you think we could do as a concerned citizen, citizens out?
I mean, it's just like what only thing I would have said was water, whatever, but I mean, everything is pretty much deplenished. It's like, send prayers for these people and hope that everything get back to normal quickly, even though we know that it's probably not gonna happen, but we wish it would. I mean, because still, you still got the pandemic going on out here.
Right.
I'm calling this the pandemic. I'm calling this the pandemic too. So I'm thinking like, I'm like, and then they talking about it's another one that's supposed to be coming. That's just like the first one. So now you got the snow that done shut everybody down. So you still like in a win-win situation, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? So you had the pandemic where the mask came in. Now you got the snow done came in. They'll shut everything down again.
Right. Right.
So I mean, only thing left is to do is pray. You know what I'm saying? So at least until the trucks get back on the road, until they can, restock the shelves and
Right.
stuff like that. So basically, it's just I really I'm appalled myself because I really just don't even know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least I was fortunate not to get hit, and my kids are good, but still, it's not fair for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah, stay positive. Like I was saying, is in Dallas, and the last at 2%. And
Yeah.
what can you say or do? Is he where he can get food? You just not what's happening to family.
Right. Yeah.
Reach out to everyone just to stay happy. Are you okay?
Right.
Like Ayesha, don't be prideful. This is not prideful. Ask for help if you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's really not the time to be quiet about anything.
Right. Right.
I mean, I understand that you're not used to talking to people that you talk to. I understand that maybe family members have done you wrong in the past, but now put that all in the past. And you know what, it's funny because I just learned that yesterday. I had a talk with my auntie, and she was like, some things that happened in the past, like when my mom passed, and I dwelled on it like forever, but then she was like, you need to put that in the past. Look at what we're going through.
Right.
So, and it made sense, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you have people here today and they're gone tomorrow, and it's just what we're going through. And it might not even be their fault, which is not. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that happens. So, but what really can you do besides pray of reality of God's work, or however that side of it works?
Right.
So I mean, so that's basically, all we can do is pray, and you see people in need stuck on side the street, help them. You never know what's going on. And it's funny because usually when I travel with 5 packages of water in my car. I just when it's on sale, I just go to the store and I get it. It just so happened now I have none. That's funny,
Wow.
isn't
Wow.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, because my daughter, she don't drink city water or anything like that, but she drinks bottled water, so I had to keep some on hand. But it's funny, because it's just it's wild, Cammy. It's almost like it's so hurtful that you really like just can't even talk about it without tearing up. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be me, that could be you. It could be Ayesha was affected. So I think when it's somebody that or even not knowing still, but it's just it's just a lot of people. It's just a lot of people are dealing with right now.
Right. Right. Well, we're gonna try to stay up and give different reports that our social media platform. And SL.com is where you can go. Updated information. Our radio shows in full March 20th, but now we're little snippets like what we're doing today. Kind of get a feel of what we're talking about. Real people, what's going on in our real community. So I started um, and I want to add before.
Oh no, not really, Kim. It's just hey, teamwork make the dream work, right? So I figured that, so I figured that if we stay positive
Right.
and if we stick together, we can make it through these things. We can make it through. Anything's possible, guys. Anything's possible. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. So if you guys need us one for you on your pet, or you have neighbors that know that elderly and can't get out, knock on the if you get out and great, bring a bottle of water because you the pipes. What little bit, everything counts.
Yes.
And look, Laura says she for days, and so it's terrible. It's terrible. How are you gonna
Yeah.
keep from? Um, you got to start over with food. But then how you start over with food? There's food at the grocery store. So
Yeah.
replenish. Again, whatever we can do, but we can. Resources, please repost. Go to SKST. On Facebook, we have SKST Radio. Go there. Post if you can. Need help. They're the best way we can. And so, yes, until next week. We're giving you news and things on our end.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Be blessed. And we have.
Right on, Cam. You got it.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.